Here one problem given, prove that if E comma F are independent events, then so are the events E and F dash. Given that E and F are independent events, then we have to prove that the event E and F dash means the complementary event of F, are also independent. Now for this, already given that E comma F are independent events. E comma F are independent events. When the two events are independent, then intersection of the events E intersection F, probability of E intersection F is equal to P of E into P of F. So it is already we have proved. Now to prove E and F dash are independent events, it is enough to prove that the probability of E intersection F dash is equal to probability of E into probability of F dash. Now let us see. For this I am taking one Venn diagram. Let us consider the two events E and F. It is one event E, it is second event F. We know that this is the intersection of the two events known as E intersection F, and this part is E intersection F complement. So this is the region belongs to E but not in F. Okay, now from the diagram, we can consider the event E is equal to, we can take the event E is equal to E intersection F dash union E intersection F. Moreover, these two events are disjoint events. There is no intersection path between these two. And also E intersection F dash intersection E intersection F is equal to 5. Now let us take probability on both sides. The probability of E is equal to the probability of E intersection F dash union E intersection F, that is equal to, we know that the probability of A and B is equal to P of A plus P of B when A intersection B is equal to 5. So that is the axiom in probability. According to that, we can write it as the probability of E intersection F dash plus probability of E intersection A. Now from this equation, P of E intersection F dash is equal to probability of E minus the probability of E intersection F. Now this is equal to P of E minus, we have probability of E intersection F is equal to P of E into P of F. P of E into P of F. When we take probability of E common, then what? It is 1 minus probability of F. Therefore, it is probability of E into 1 minus probability of F is equal to probability of F complement. Therefore, the probability of E intersection F dash is proved as P of E into P of F dash. Hence P of E intersection F dash is proved as P of E into P of F dash. Therefore, the two events E comma F dash are independent events. Okay. And once you remember that if any two events E comma F are independent, then E comma F are independent, E dash comma F are also independent, and E comma F dash are also independent. Just now we proved. And third one, E dash comma F dash are also independent. So E comma F are independent events. Then these three conditions hold. E complement comma F independent, E comma F complement independent, E complement comma F complement are also independent events. Now there is one more problem on independent events. A comma B are two independent events, then the probability of occurrence of at least one of A and B is given by 1 minus P of A dash into P of B dash. A comma B are independent events. Given that A comma B are independent events. Therefore, the probability of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. Now, we have to find that the probability of occurrence of at least one of A and B. That is the probability of occurrence of at least one of A and B is equal to the probability of either A or B, A union B. Now probability of A union B is equal to, by addition theorem, P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. Now this is equal to the probability of A plus probability of B minus, we know that P of A intersection B is equal to P of A into P of B. Now this is P of A plus, look here, we can get probability of B common from these two terms. When we take that much term common, it is 1 minus P of A. Now this is equal to the probability of A plus probability of B into 1 minus P of A is equal to P of A dash. And of course, we can write the probability of A as 1 minus P of A dash. Probability of A means that the probability of occurrence of A, which is equals to 1 minus probability of non-occurrence of A, plus the probability of B into probability of A dash. This is equal to 1 minus, once again we can get P of A dash common from these two terms. When we take that much term common, it is 1 minus P of B. Therefore, 1 minus P of A dash into 1 minus P of B is equal to P of B dash. Therefore, the probability of occurrence of at least of one of A and B is equals to 1 minus P of A dash into P of B dash. That means 1 minus probability of non-occurrence of A and the probability of non-occurrence of B. Now, it is the problem that the probability of solving a specific problem independently by A and B are 1 by 2, 1 by 3 respectively. The probability of solving a specified problem by A is 1 by 2 and the probability for B to solve the same problem is 1 by 3. If both try to solve the problem independently, then find the probability that problem is solved and exactly one of them solve the problem. Okay, given that the probability of A, that means the probability of A is equal to the probability that the specified problem is solved by A. The problem is solved by A, that is equal to 1 by 2, and P of B is equal to the probability that the problem is solved by B, that is equal to 1 by 3. Now, if both try the same problem independently, then what is the probability that the problem is solved? First bit, probability that the problem is solved. You know, when does the problem solves? If at least one of them solve the problem, then only the problem will be solved. Therefore, probability that problem is solved means that the probability that at least one of A comma B solve the problem. At least one of A comma B solve the problem. Now the probability of problem is solved is equal to probability of at least one of A comma B solve the problem. That means either A solve the problem or B solve the problem or both can solve the problem. And what is the complementary event to this? The complementary event of at least one of A comma B solve the problem is no one solving the problem. So that let us find the probability of its complementary event and subtract from 1. That is, we can write it as 1 minus probability that no one solve the problem. No one solve the problem. That is equal to 1 minus P of A bar, no one solve the problem. Neither A nor B solve the problem. That is probability of A bar intersection B bar. We know that A bar comma B bar are also independent since A comma B are independent. Hence we can write it as P of A bar intersection B bar is equal to P of A bar into P of B bar. Now this is equal to 1 minus P of A bar is equal to 1 minus P of A into P of B bar is equal to 1 minus P of B. Now this is equal to 1 minus the probability of A. It is given that 1 by 2 into 1 minus probability of B given that 1 by 3. Therefore, 1 minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2 into 1 minus 1 by 3, 2 by 3, that is equal to 2 gets cancelled. It is 1 minus 1 by 3 is equal to 2 by 3. Therefore, the probability that the problem is solved by any one of them or both is equal to 2 by 3. Now, there is another bit. Exactly one of them solve the problem. Second one, the probability that exactly one solve the problem. Exactly one solve the, that means when A solves the problem, B cannot, and B solves the problem, A cannot. So that A solves at the same time B cannot, B bar, or A cannot solve the problem at the same time B can solve the problem. Now this can be taken as P of A into P of B bar plus P of A bar into P of B. Now this is equal to P of A is equal to 1 by 2 into, P of B bar is equal to 1 minus P of B, that is 1 by 3, plus P of A bar is equal to 1 minus 1 by 2 into P of B is equal to 1 by 3. Now on solving this, it is 1 by 2 into 2 by 3, that is 1 by 3 plus 1 by 2 into 1 by 3, 1 by 6. Now if we take LCM 6, then the numerator become 2 plus 1, 3. 3 by 6 is equal to 1 by 2. Now here one theorem, that is theorem of total probability. The statement of the theorem is, suppose E1, E2, E3, so on En are n mutually exclusive mutually exclusive and exhaustive events with each probability greater than 0, with the P of ei greater than 0 for all I is equal to 1, 2, 3, so on up to n, and A be any event in sample space S of a random experiment with the probability of A is not equals to 0, then the probability of A is equal to probability of E1 into probability of A by E1 plus probability of E2 into probability of A by E2 plus so on probability of En into probability of A by En, and of course it is also known as the sigma, the probability of Ei into probability of A by Ei, where I is equal to 1 to n. Now this is the statement of the theorem. Suppose E1, E2, E3 and so on En are n mutually exclusive and exhaustive events of a random experiment with each probability greater than 0, and A be one more event in the sample space with the probability not equals to 0, then the probability of A is equal to probability of E1, probability of A by E1 plus P of E2 into P of A by E2 and so on P of En into P of A by En. It is equals to the sigma P of Ei into P of A by Ei, where I is equal to 1 to n. Now let us prove this. Now in the statement given, E1, E2, E3 and so on En are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. E1, E2, E3 so on En are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. We know that mutually exclusive means intersection of the two events is always phi, and exhaustive events means union of all the events is equal to sample spaces. Therefore, here E1 to En are mutually exclusive. Therefore, the intersection between any two events is equal to phi. That is, Ei intersection Ej is equal to phi for all I comma j. Whatever the two events are chosen from E1 to En, their intersection is always equals to phi. And exhaustive means union of all the events like E1 union, E2 union, E3 union and so on union. En is equal to sample space S. Now this implies that we can write all these unions in the form of union of Ei, where I is equal to 1 to n is equal to S. Okay. Now A be another event, A be any event in the sample space S with the probability of A not equals to 0. Since A is a event in the sample spaces, A is always subset to S. Therefore, what about A intersection S? A intersection S is always equals to A. This implies A is equal to A intersection S. A intersection, but S is equal to what? Union of EI, where I is equal to 1 to n. Now this is equal to A intersection. Now when we consider all the sets, then it is E1 union, E2 union, E3 union and so on union. En is equal to that's all. And now this is equal to A intersection E1. You know, it is the distributive law under union. A intersection E1 union, A intersection E2 union, A intersection E3 union and so on union, A intersection En. A is equal to. Now, you know, all these events are disjoint events because of E1, E2, E3 and so on En are n mutually exclusive events. All are mutually exclusive. So, there is no intersection part between these n events. This is E1, it is E2, this is E3, it is E4, it is E5, like this. Now, these are the events like that, E1, E2, E3 and so on. Let it be some En. Now, A be the event that connecting with all these events. Now, this is the event A. It has intersection with all these n events. It is A intersection E1. This is A intersection E2. This is A intersection E3 and so on. Continue like that. This will be A intersection En. Now, here all these intersections with A are also disjoint. And also we have A intersection EI intersection A intersection EJ is equal to phi for all I comma j. If any two events are considered here, then they should have intersection part is equal to phi. Now, since A intersection EI intersection A intersection EJ is equal to phi for all I comma j, then now let us we consider the probability on both sides. The probability of A is equal to probability of A intersection E1 union A intersection E2 union A intersection E3 union and so on union A intersection En. Now, this is equal to, we know that all are the disjoint events, so that according to the axiom, the probability of these union of all these events can be taken as probability of A intersection E1 plus probability of A intersection E2 plus probability of A intersection E3 plus so on. It is probability of A intersection En. Now, probability of A intersection E1. According to the multiplication theorem, we can write it as P of E1 into P of A by E1. And this is by the multiplication theorem, it can be taken as P of E2 into P of A by E2. And this one is P of E3 into P of A by E3 plus so on P of En into P of A by En. Now, this is the required series. P of A is equal to P of E1 into P of A by E1 plus P of E2 into P of A by E2 and so on up to P of En into P of A by En. And it can be taken as sigma of P of Ei into P of A by Ei, where I is equal to 1 to n. Now, this is the theorem on total probability. Next, Bayes theorem. Now, this is the theorem on total probability. Here also the statement is suppose E1, E2, E3, so on, En are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events with each probability greater than 0 for all I is equal to 1, 2, 3, so on up to n, and AB any event with the probability not equals to 0, then the probability of EI by A is equal to the probability of EI into probability of A by EI by sigma the probability of EI into probability of A by EI, where I is equal to 1 to n. Now this is the statement of the theorem. Suppose E1, E2, E3 and so on En are mutually exclusive and exhaustive events. Intersection of any two events is equal to phi and union of the events is equal to S, and each probability greater than 0, A is another event with the probability not equals to 0, then probability of EI by A, that means the probability that EI, it is given that A is equal to P of EI into P of A by EI is equal to sigma P of EI into P of A by EI. Now let us consider P of EI by A. Now it is a conditional probability. According to the conditional probability, it can be taken as P of EI intersection A by P of A. Now by the multiplication, it is the by conditional probability, by the definition of conditional probability. By the definition of the conditional probability. And by the multiplication theorem, the numerator can be taken as P of EI into P of A by EI by P of A. P of A represents what? It represents the complete probability. The theorem on complete probability, that is sigma of P of EI into P of A by EI, where I is equal to 1 to n. Therefore, the probability of EI by A is given by P of EI into P of A by EI whole divided by sigma P of EI into P of A by EI, where I is equal to 1 to n. Now here one problem given on Bayes' theorem. Bag 1 contains 3 red and 4 black balls, while another bag 2 contains 5 red and 6 black balls. One ball is drawn at random from one of these bags and it is found to be red. Then find the probability that it was drawn from bag 2. So there are two bags, bag 1, bag 2. Let it be bag 1 and the second one is bag 2. The first bag contains 3 red balls plus and 4 black balls, and the second bag contains 5 red balls plus 6 black balls. Okay. Now one ball is drawn from one of these bags. We don't know the ball taken from either from B1 or B2. So one bag is chosen randomly and after that one ball is drawn from that chosen bag and it is found to be red, the ball is found to be red, then what is the probability that it was drawn from the bag 2? Okay. Now here let us find the total probability first. Before that, the probability that choosing a bag is always 1 by 2 because of here there are only 2 bags. Hence we can select this bag or this bag. so that the probability to choose this bag is 1 by 2 and choosing of this bag is also 1 by 2. Therefore, P of B1 is equal to the probability of selecting bag. Selecting bag 1, that is equal to 1 by 2, and P of B2, it is also the probability that selecting bag 2, that is also 1 by 2. Now, one ball is drawn from the bag and it is found to be red. That means the selected ball is red color ball. So that the probability that selecting a red ball after selection of B1, it is the probability of red ball after the selection of bag 1. Now, what is the selecting a red ball from bag 1? Here the total number of red balls are 3 and total number of balls in that bag is 7. So that the probability that selecting a red ball is equal to 3C1 out of 7C1. Therefore, 3 by 7. And the probability of R by B2, selecting red ball after the selection of bag 2. Now that is equal to selection of a red ball from bag 2. Here total number of red balls are 5, out of which one can be selected from total number of balls 5 plus 6 11, 11C1, that is equal to 5 by 11. Now the total probability is, that is P of A is equal to the total probability, that is P of B1 into P of R by B1 plus P of B2 into P of R by B2. So the total probability is selection of the first bag into selection of the red ball after the selection of bag 1 and selection of the second bag and selection of the red ball after the selection of second bag. Now P of B1 it is equal to 1 by 2 into, and P of R by B1 is equal to 3 by 7 plus 1 by 2 into P of R by B2, that is equal to 5 by 11. Therefore, P of A is equal to P of B1 into P of R by B1 plus P of B2 into P of R by B2 is equal to 1 by 2 plus 3 by 7 plus 1 by 2 into 5 by 11. Now the required probability is the probability that it was drawn from bag 2. Therefore, the selection of the ball drawn from bag 2 B2 by R, that is equal to P of B2 into P of R by B2 whole divided by P of A. Now, P of B2 into P of R by B2 is equal to what? That is 1 by 2 into 5 by 11 whole divided by, now P of A is equal to 1 by 2 into 3 by 7 plus 1 by 2 into 5 by 11, that is equal to, now here we get some cancellations. After that cancellation we may get it is 38 by 65. Yes, after this cancellation it is 35 by 68. Now there is one more problem on Bayes theorem. A man is known to speak truth 3 out of 4 times. That means the probability that the person speak truth is 3 by 4 and he throws a die and reports that it is 6. Then what is the probability that it is actually 6? Now the person may speak or may not speak, but he speaks truth or may not speak the truth, but he throws a die and reports that it is 6. but we don't know whether it is exactly 6 or not. Now let us take the probability of S1 is equal to, that is the probability of the die shows, probability that the die shows exactly 6, that is equal to the occurrence of 6 is equal to 1 by 6, and P of S2 is equal to the probability that non-occurrence of 6, non-occurrence of 6, that is equal to 1 minus 1 by 6 is equal to 5 by 6. Now we don't know whether he speak truth or not, but he reports that it is 6. Now therefore the probability that the person may speak the truth when it is actually 6, that is P of E by S1, P of E by S1, where E is equal to speaking truth. P of E by S1 represents that the probability of the person speaking truth when it is actually 6. Therefore, the probability that the person speaks truth, it is this probability is same as to the person or the man speaks truth. That is equal to what is that, 3 by 4, and the probability of E by S2, probability of E by S2, probability of E is equal to what? It is the occurrence of P of E by S2 means what? It is the die shows 6 if he do not speak truth. Therefore, the probability that the man do not speak truth, man do not speak truth. Now that is complementary to this one, 1 minus 3 by 4, 1 by 4. Therefore, the probability that it was actually 6, actually 6 means that it is S1 by E is equal to P of S1 into P of E by S1 by P of S1 into P of E by S1 plus P of S2 into P of E by S2. Now this is equal to P of S1 is equal to 1 by 6 into P of E by S1 is 3 by 4 whole divided by 1 by 6 into 3 by 4 plus, and P of S2 is equal to 5 by 6 into P of E by S2 is equal to 1 by 4. Now on the simplification here, clearly the numerator and denominator both have the same LCM 24, that will be gets cancelled. After that the numerator become 3 and the denominator become 3 plus 5, 8. So that the probability that it is actually 6 is equal to 3 by 8. Now the next topic of the probability is random variable. What is a random variable? Now let's we take one example. Suppose if a coin is tossed 3 times, a coin is tossed 3 times. Now this is the experiment known as a random experiment. Let us take some x is equal to the number of heads occur on the toss. See, one value some x is assumed as number of heads occur when a coin is tossed 3 times. X is the number of heads occur. So when x is assumed as number of heads occur when a coin is tossed 3 times. Now here there is a rule that can assign the real values, a single value of x, and the single value of x may vary with outcomes of the experiment. For example, the number of heads occur when a coin is tossed 3 times. That means here we may get 0 heads or 1 head or 2 heads or 3 heads. Now each value is one result of the experiment. Now this single value of x is a real number and it varies when the outcomes of the experiment changes. So that x is a variable. Now here the x is a variable and this real value of x is directly depends on the number of outcomes of the random experiment. Hence, this a variable x is also known as a random variable. Random variable. Okay. Now, let us define the mathematical approach to the random variable. X is a real number which is defined on sample space of the random experiment, like a function x maps from S to R, where S is sample space of the experiment, random experiment. And R is set of real numbers, then the real valued function x is called a random variable. And the possible outcomes are the possible values of x. The set of possible values of x is known as range of the random variable x. Now here in this experiment, x has the possible values 0, 1, 2, 3. So that the set 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3 is range of the random variable x. Suppose if x is a random variable of any experiment which is conducted n times, then and x is equal to the number of times it happens. So one value is assumed as number of times it happens when an experiment is conducted n times. And then the possible results of x are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on up to n. Now that will be the range of the random variable x. Suppose if x is a random variable with the possible values x1, x2, x3 and so on xn. Now this set of x1, x2, x3 and so on xn is called range of the random variable x. Now in this example, a coin is tossed 3 times and x is the number of heads occur, that is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. Therefore, the range of x is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3. 0 means what? The number of heads is equal to 0. So when a coin is tossed 3 times and x is equal to 0 means that there is no head. That means all the 3 times the coin must show tails. That means T, T, T. x of t t t is equal to 0. And 1 means what? The number of heads occur is equal to 1. That means there exists only one head when a coin is tossed 3 times. Therefore, the possible cases are only one head occur means one head, two tails, or that is equal to x of THT, that is equal to x of TTH, all are equal to 1. And x is equal to 2. X is equal to 2 means that the number of heads is equal to 2 when coin tossed 3 times. So it happens when there are exactly 2 heads. So the 2 heads may occur like HHT or HTH or THH. Now in these 3 cases, the range is equal to 2. Next, x is equal to 3. X is equal to 3 means that the number of heads is equal to 3 when a coin is tossed 3 times. All the 3 times that coin must show head. Therefore, x of triple H, all the 3 times the coin must show head is equal to, that is 3. Therefore, x of triple T is equal to 0, x of HTT or x of THT or x of TTH is equal to 1. Similarly, x of double HT cases is equal to 2 and x of triple H case is equal to 3. Now, this leads that triple T is equal to x inverse 0 and H T T is equal to T H T is equal to T T H is equal to x inverse 1 and H H T is equal to H T H is equal to T T T H H is equal to x inverse 2 and triple H is equal to x inverse of 2. X is a random variable of a random experiment with the possible outcomes or possible values x1, x2, x3, so on xn, and the probabilities of each of xi is pi. That means the probability of x is equal to xi or x is equal to x1 is equal to p1. The probability at x is equal to x2 is equal to p2. The probability of x is equal to x3 is equal to p3 and so on. The probability of some x is equal to xn, the probability is pn. Then the system of numbers of x, possible values of x along with probabilities is called a probability distribution. Like x is a random variable whose values are x1, x2, x3, so on xn and their corresponding probabilities. So they are p1, p2, p3, so on pn such that sum of all these probabilities is equal to 1, sigma pi, where I is equal to 1 to n is equal to 1. Then the system of these numbers is called a probability distribution. Now, let's we take one example. Suppose a coin is tossed a coin is tossed 3 times. A coin is tossed 3 times. Now this is the random experiment, and let us take one random variable x is equal to number of heads occur. So generally the number of heads means that there may be 0 heads occur, or 1 head, or 2 heads, and a maximum 3 heads occur because of the coin is tossed exactly 3 times. Now these are the possible values of x, and now their probabilities. Here let us define a table with x is equal to x whose values are 0, 1, 2, 3 and corresponding probabilities. So here 0 means what? The number of 0 heads occur. Number of 0 heads occur means that x of triple t is equal to, already we have written earlier, that is x of triple t is equal to 0, and x of 1 head occur means that it is HTT, or x of THT, that is equal to x of TTH is equal to 1. In these 3 cases, the value is 1. That means there are 3 possible outcomes to this value 1. Whereas x is equal to 0, only one possible outcome. But the total number of possible outcomes when experiment is conducted 3 times is equal to 8, out of which only 1 is favor to this x is equal to 0. So that the probability for x is equal to 0 is 1 by 8. Now let us find the probability that x is equal to 1. X is equal to 1 means that number of heads occur only 1. So it happens in 3 ways. X of HTT, or x of THT, or x of TTH. So all in these 3 cases there exists only 1 head. So that the possible outcomes to happen x is equal to 1 is equal to 3 out of 8. Therefore the probability at x is equal to 1 is 3 by 8. Next, number of heads 2. Number of heads 2 means that there may be HT, x of HT, that is equal to x of HTH, that is equal to x of THH. In these 3 cases, the value is equal to 2. Therefore, the random variable x is equal to 2 in 3 cases. Hence, the favorable cases to get x is equal to 2 is 3 out of 8 again. So that the probability in this case is 3 by 8. And next one, x is equal to 3. X is equal to 3 means that the number of heads 3 times. Number of heads 3 times means that all the 3 times the coin must show head. So that is only one way, x of HHH, that is equal to 3. So it happens only in 1 out of 8. Now these are the probabilities to the possible values of x. Now you can check sum of all these probabilities. 1 by 8 plus 3 by 8, 4 by 8, 4 by 8 plus 3 by 8, 7 by 8, 7 by 8 plus 1 by 8, that is equal to 8 by 8, which is equals to 1. Hence, the sum of all probabilities is equal to 1. So that this system of values is known as the probability distribution to the random variable x. Now, we have one example. 2 cards are drawn successively with replacement from a well shuffled deck of 52 cards. 2 cards are drawn from a well shuffled pack of 52. Find the probability distribution of number of aces Find the probability distribution to the number of aces. Here number of aces is a random variable. X is equal to the number of aces. So generally 2 cards are drawn. When 2 cards are drawn, then the number of aces occur is equal to either 0 aces or 1 ace or 2 aces. That means the possible values of x is equal to 0, 1, 2. 0 aces happens. When does the 0 aces happens? That means there is no ace when 2 cards are drawn. That is x of no ace. No ace. No ace. That means totally there are 52 playing cards, out of which 4 are aces and remaining 48 are non-ace cards, the other cards. Now with replacement we are taking the 2 cards, so that here we can draw the 2 cards. The first card may be any one of 48 C1, and with replacement then the total number of cards would be again 48, out of which one can be selected. So x of number of aces is equal to, that is number 0 aces is equal to, x of 0 aces is equal to 48 C1 into 48 C1. Next one, x of 1 ace. 1 ace. That means we have to select 1 ace out of 4, that is in 4C1, into the next one is not a ace card, that happens in 48C1 base. And you know it happens in 2 ways. Because of the first one is ace and next card is non-ace, or first one is non-ace and second one may be ace card. So that here there exist 2 possible outcomes, 4C1 into 48C1 or 48C1 into 4C1. And next one, x of 2 aces. 2 aces. 2 aces with replacement. So first card may be ace. After the replacement, the second card also be ace. Therefore, the favorable possible outcomes to happen 2 aces is equal to 4C1, 4C1. Now let us we consider a table. X is equal to x with the probabilities P of x is equal to x. Now x is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, x is equal to 2. Now at x is equal to 0, 0 aces, the favorable cases are 48 C1, 48 C1 by 52 C1, 52 C1. Because the total number of ways of selecting 2 cards out of 52 cards with replacement is equal to 52 C1 into 52 C1. Next, the probability at x is equal to 1 is 4C1 into 48C1 plus 48C1 into 4C1. Of course, it is same as to 2 times of 4C1 into 48C1 by 52C1 into 52C1. Next, at x is equal to 2 aces is equal to the favorable cases are 4C1 into 4C1 by total 52C1 into 52C1. Now on simplification, that x is equal to x 0, 1, 2 with the probabilities. Now let us simplify them. It is 48 by 52. that is here 4 table cancel 12 times 13 times, and here also 12 times 13 times, 12 into 12 144 by 13 into 13 169. Now here 4 cancel in 52 13 times, 2 into 1 by 13 and 48 by 52, that is 12 by 13. Therefore 2 into 12 24 by 13 into 13 169. Next case is 4 by 52 is equal to 1 by 13 into 1 by 13 1 by 169. Now this is called a probability distribution to the number of aces. Now there is one more problem on the random variable. Let x denote the number of hours you study during randomly selected a school day. The probability that x can take the values x has the following form, and k is some unknown constant, and the probability is given. P of x is equal to x is 0.1 if x is equal to 0, kx if x is equal to 1 or 2, k into 5 minus x if x is equal to 3 or 4, and 0 otherwise. Now here the possible x values are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in other cases. And in other cases the probability is 0, no need to consider the other values. And probabilities are given at x is equal to 0 is 0.1, 1 or 2 the probability kx, 3 or 4 the probability k into 5 minus x, like that. Now find the value of k, and what is the probability that you study at least 2 hours, exact 2 hours, and at most 2 hours. Okay, now let us define a probability distribution table. X denotes the number of hours. So here the random variable x is x denotes number of hours. So 0 hours, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and 4 hours. From 5 hours onwards the probability is 0 given, so that no need to consider the other values. Now the probabilities. At 0 the probability given that 0.1, at x is equal to 1 the probability is given kx, at x is equal to 1 kx, put x is equal to 1 there, hence the probability is k, and the probability is kx at x is equal to 2, that is 2k, and at x is equal to 3 the probability is given by k into 5 minus x. Now substitute x is equal to 3 here, 5 minus 3 to 2k, and at 4 the probability k into 5 minus 4, that is 1 into k. Now that is the probability distribution table. From that table, question, find the value of k. Find the value of k. In the probability distribution, sum of all probabilities is equal to 1. We have sum of the probabilities, that is 0.1 plus k plus 2k plus 2k plus k. 0.1 plus k plus 2k plus 2k plus k is equal to 1. Now this is 2k, 3k plus 2k, 5k, 6k is equal to 1 minus 0.1, that is 0.9. Now k will be 0.9 by 6. Now it can be taken as 9 by 60. Approximately it is here 3 table gets cancelled 3 times and it is 20 times. Therefore k is equal to 3 by 20. Otherwise 3 by 2 is equal to 1.5 divided by 0, that is 0.15. Okay, no problem, leave it k is equal to 3 by 20. And the next one, what is the probability that you study at least 2 hours? At least 2 hours. The probability that study at least 2 hours. The minimum 2 hours, that is x value greater than or equal to 2. At least 2 hours. X is greater than or equal to 2. So that the possible values that x greater than or equal to 2 are x is equal to 2, x is equal to 3 and x is equal to 4. So that find the probabilities at those values. At x is equal to 2, it is 2k. At x is equal to 3, it is 2k. At x is equal to 4, it is k. So finally, this is 2k plus 2k plus k, 5k is equal to, now, but already we found k is equal to 3 by 20, substitute. Now this will be 5 into 3, 15 by 20, or 5 table 3 times, here 4 times, or 0.75. Now that is one bit. Next bit is, what is the probability that you study exactly 2 hours? Exactly 2 hours means that the probability that x is equal to 2 only. Exactly 2 hours means, what is the probability that x is equal to 2? At x is equal to 2, it is given by 2k. Therefore, 2 into 3 by 20, that is 6 by 20, or it is 3 by 10, 0.3. And then one more bit is given, that what is the probability that you study at most 2 hours? At most, that means the probability of at most means maximum 2 hours. Study at most 2 hours. That is equal to the probability of x less than or equal to 2. Therefore, the possible values of x less than or equal to 2 are 0, 1, 2. Therefore, find the probabilities at x is equal to 0, at x is equal to 1 and x is equal to 2 and add. Now, the probability at x is equal to 0 is 0.1, at x is equal to 1 it is k, at x is equal to 2 it is 2k. Therefore, 0.1 plus 3k, it is 0.1 plus 3 into, where k is equal to 3, that is 9 by 20, k is equal to 3 by 20. So, 3 into 3 by 20, 9 by 20, and of course, we can write 0.1 as 1 by 10, 1 by 10 plus 9 by 20, which is equals to, so clearly 20 is the common LCM, it is 2 plus 9, 11, 11 by 20. Now, let us define the mean of a random variable. What is the mean of a random variable? Let x be a random variable of a random experiment whose values are given by x1, x2, x3, so on xn, with the probabilities p1, p2, p3, so on pn. Then the mean of the random variable x is, denoted by mu, and it is defined as sigma xi into pi, where I is equal to 1 to n. So, random variable x whose possible values are given, that x1, x2, x3, so on, xn, and the probabilities. The probability at x1 is p1, probability at x2 p2, probability at x is equal to 3 p3, and so on. It is the probability at x is equal to n is pn, such that sum of all probabilities is equal to 1. Now this is a probability distribution of the random variable x. Now the mean of the random variable, denoted by mu, and it is defined as sigma xi pi, where I is equal to 1 to n. That means x1 into p1 plus x2 into p2 plus x3 into p3 and so on, xn into pn. Sum of the product of the values of x with their corresponding probabilities, and it can be expressed as sigma of xi pi, where I is equal to 1 to n. Now this quantity is defined as the mean of the random variable x, and the mean of the random variable x is also known as expected value, which is denoted by E of x, expected value denoted by E of x, or mathematical expectation, or average. All these things are same. So the mean of a random variable x is also known as expected value denoted by E of x, or mathematical expectation, or average. Now we do have one problem on the mean. Let a pair of dice be thrown and the random variable x is sum of the numbers that appear on the two dice. Then find the mean or expectation of x. A pair of dice be thrown, that is the experiment. Here the experiment is that rolling of two dice, and random variable x is sum of the numbers that appear on the dice. Now let it be the random variable x. Here the possible values of x are, when two dice are thrown, the sum of the numbers on the dice starts from minimum 2 and goes to maximum 12, because of the dice show a minimum value 1 and 1, then sum will be 1 plus 1 2, and if the two dice show maximum value 6, then the sum will be 6 plus 6 12. Therefore the possible values of x are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now these are the possible values, x1, x2, x3 and so on. Now this will be the range of the random variable x. Now let us find the probabilities at these set of values. Before that, let us define one probability distribution. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Now, let us find the probabilities of these values. X is equal to 2. X is equal to 2 means what? Sum of the numbers on the dice is 2. It happens when both the die shows 1. So that the possible outcomes of this experiment is 1 comma 1 out of 36. Hence, the probability for this case is 1 by 36. Next, x is equal to 3. That means sum of the numbers is 3 on the two dice. The sum of the two numbers on the dice is 3. It happens in 3 ways. 1, 2, 2, 1, just 2 ways only. So that the probability is 2 out of 36. Now, sum on the two dice is 4. It happens in 3 ways. What are they? 1, 3, 3, 1 and 2, 2. So, 3 out of 36. Therefore, the probability is 3 by 36. Now, the probability at x is equal to 5 is, the possible outcomes are 1, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 4 out of 36, and the sum on the two dice is 6. It happens when the two dice show 1, 5, 5, 1, 2, 4, 4, 2 and 3, 3. 5 cases out of 36. Next, 7. The favorable cases to get sum 7 on the two dice is 1, 6, 6, 1, 2, 5, 5, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3. 6 cases out of 36. Next, 8. For 8, 1, 6 not possible and 2, 6 possible, 6, 2, 3, 5, 5, 3 and 4, 4. Only 5 cases out of 36. 9. The sum of the two dice is 9. In how many ways? It is 3, 6, 6, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, only 4 ways. And the probability at x is equal to 10 is, it is 4, 6, 6, 4, 5, 5, 3 cases. Sum 11, only 2 cases. What are they? 5, 6, 6, 5. And sum 12 happens in only one way, that is 6. Hence, the probability for that case is 1 by 36. Now, these are the possible probabilities to the values of x. Now, this is the distribution table. From this distribution table, let us find the mean. The mean of x, that is mu, which is given by sigma xi pi, where I is equal to 1 to n. Here, the total x values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, x1 into p1, that is 2 into 1 by 36 plus 3 into 2 by 36 plus 4 into 3 by 36 plus 5 into 4 by 36 plus 6 into 5 by 36 plus 7 into 6 by 36 plus 8 into 5 by 36 plus 9 into 4 by 36 plus 10 into 3 by 36 plus 11 into 2 by 36 plus 12 into 1 by 36. Now, here all these fractions are having the same denominator 36. That's okay. What about the numerator? It is 2 by 36. plus 6 by 36 plus 12 by 36 plus 20 by 36 plus 6 into 5 30 by 36 plus 7 into 6 42 by 36 plus 40 by 36 plus 36 by 36 plus 30 by 36 plus 22 by 36 plus 12 by 36. Now, while adding all these, here the denominator is common, 36 is common. Then what would be the sum in numerators? Now, the sum in numerator is 252 by 36. Of course, 36 cancel in 252 7 times. Therefore, the mean of the random variable x, where x is sum of the numbers on the two dice, is 7. Now, we have one more problem on the mean. Find the mean the number of heads in 3 tosses of a fair coin. A fair coin is tossed 3 times. This is the experiment. And the number of heads is a random variable. Here the random variable x is equal to number of heads. The number of heads is equal to either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3. Now, these are the possible values of x, and also define the probabilities. Before that, let us define a distribution table. X is equal to x with the probabilities 0, 1, 2, 3. Now, 0, the number of heads 0. Number of heads 0 means that there exists all the 3 tosses must show tails. So, generally the possible outcomes when 3 coins are tossed is equal to all the 3 times tail, or double TH, or THT, or HTT, or HHT, or HTH, or THH, triple H. Now, these are the possible outcomes when a coin tossed 3 times. Therefore, the total number of outcomes is equal to 8, out of which the random variable x is equal to 0 happens. That means 0 heads happen in only 1 out of 8. So, that the probability is 1 by 8. Next, x is equal to number of heads is equal to 1. Number of heads 1. There is only one head occur in 3 cases, TTH, THT, HTT. That means 3 are favor out of 8. Next, x is equal to 2. Number of heads is 2. Number of heads is 2. So, 2 heads occur, that is in HHT, THT, THH. HHT, HTH, THH. So, 3 cases again out of 8. Next, x is equal to 3. Number of heads is equal to 3. All the 3 times the coin show head. That is 1 out of 8 cases. Now, this is the probability distribution table. Now, from this distribution table, let us find the mean. The mean of the random variable x, that is mu is equal to sigma xi into pi, where I is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, 0 into 1 by 8 plus 1 into 3 by 8 plus 2 into 3 by 8 plus 3 into 1 by 8. Now, this is 0 plus 3 by 8 plus 6 by 8 plus 3 by 8. 3 plus 6, 9, 9 plus 3, 12, 12 by 8. Now clearly 4 table cancel now. So 4 here, 3 times, this is 2 times, 3 by 2, that is equals to 1.5. Therefore, the mean of the random variable x is equal to 1.5.